You have now learned most of the basic terms and requirements for being an altar server, as well as the specific jobs of cross-bearer and candle-bearer. The purpose of this video is to teach you about the specifics of one of the main jobs in a normal Mass, the book-bearer or fourth server. The book-bearer is responsible for holding the Roman Missal during prayers at the beginning and end of Mass, helping the priest receive the gifts, and helping the cross-bearer with setting up the altar during the offertory. Unlike the cross and candles, the book-bearer does not need to bring anything to the altar. Instead, their job should be to make sure everything is in place before Mass. They should double-check to make sure the credence table is set with the tray, chalices, and proper number of purificators, as well as making sure the candles on the altar are lit. In the entrance procession, the fourth server follows the two candle bearers and stands in line with the cross-bearer. When you reach the sanctuary, go up the center stairs and go on either side of the left candle, depending on how much space there is and how much will be needed. Wait for the lector and priest. Then bow at the same time as the priest and wait as he reverences the altar. After the priest comes down from the altar, everyone will bow again. Then turn left and proceed to the bench next to the lector's seat. When the priest says,
"Let us pray,"
the fourth server takes the Roman Missal from the bench and brings it up to the priest for the opening prayer. When you bring the book, have the cover of the book face the presider and place both hands on the bottom of the book so that he can open it and read from it easily. Stand a little off to the side of the priest, and when he finishes, carry the book back to the bench with you. During the scripture readings, stand when the priest stands and sit when he sits. Be sure to participate in Mass by saying the verbal responses, listening to the readings attentively, and singing during the psalm and hymns. At the offertory procession, the fourth server helps the priest to receive the gifts and carries one of the gifts to the altar. Then, the fourth server assists the cross-bearer by standing at the side of the altar and taking the empty cruets to the sacristy when the presider is done using them. Also, the fourth server can help with anything the cross-bearer needs at the time of the Mass. During the Holy Holy, the book-bearer and cross-bearer stand at the side of the altar steps and reverently pay attention to the offering of the bread and wine to become body and blood. After the Our Father and greeting of peace, all servers return to their seats. During communion, all servers are to remain standing, and the book-bearer should help with the cleaning of the altar. Then, they go across the back of the altar to their original seats and prepare for the closing prayer, remembering to bow slightly toward the altar. At that time, the priest may again ask for the Roman Missal and will normally say,
"Let us pray."
The server will bring up the Roman Missal. When the recessional or closing hymn begins, go to the same spot in front of the altar that you bowed for the entrance procession, bow, and walk down the aisle to the narthex, behind the candles just as in the entrance procession.